I want to talk about today on Neecha Bhanga Yoga and what does it really mean when you have Neecha Bhanga Yoga. Well, first of all, Neecha Bhanga Yoga in Vedic Astrology simply means a cancel of debilitation, meaning that your debilitated planet is no longer debilitated. It is exalted, if not more than exalted. Okay, but I've always said that in my videos, I've always said that in my comments reply that Neecha Bhanga doesn't necessarily mean that everything is going to be hunky-dory and fine and dandy. I've always said that Neecha Bhanga planet will always still affect you in personal life. The way you see Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga having some meaning is in professional life. But, yesterday, one of my subscribers sent me an article on Neecha Bhanga Yoga, and when I read through the whole thing, and it just made more sense, to me than ever before. That, having a Neecha Bhanga Yoga, it's like giving your debilitated planet a cane or a segue to move along. So I'll give an example. Let's say you have debilitated sun in your horoscope. So what debilitated sun really means, is that your ego and your confidence no longer comes from within, but it comes when you are in a relationship. Why is that? Because sun is debilitated in the sign of Libra. What is the Libra about? It's about partnership, legal partnership, romantic partnerships, marriage, more so. So when sun is debilitated, sun feels like, what's wrong with me? Why can I not find my confidence anymore? Why is it that I have such a low self-esteem within me unless somebody's making me feel better? That's because sun is in Libra. The king is now in the marketplace where he's being hit by different things. So debilitated sun doesn't mean that you're going to suffer all your life. Once you realize what debilitated sun is, you'll take advantage of that. So debilitated sun people, they do better when they have a partner to complement them. They do better when somebody is there to boost their ego, when somebody is there to boost their confidence. So people in debilitated sun gain confidence when they're in a relationship or when they are in marriage. They feel like, yeah, see, I can actually now have somebody next to me who feels who has this pride and joy about me. Where when sun is excelled, you don't need that. You're like, I am who I am. I'm confident. I am cocky. I have high self-esteem. I go to a shrink because I suffer from high self-esteem. It's pretty much my case. But that's what debilitated means. So when it gets cancelled, when a Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga occurs, what happens is your debilitated sun no longer needs a partner because it has a support of a cane or it has a support of something to hold on to, so his ego and his self-esteem doesn't go down. However, in your personal life, you'll still suffer from the house ruled by sun and the house where sun is placed in. You will suffer that in your personal life. So if sun represents your father, a debilitated sun can give either bad relationship from the father or distance you from your father, take away your father at an early age. So you suffer from that. You suffer from low self-esteem in your personal life. Outside in the world, when cameras are rolling or people are out in a party, you just are able to act very well. That I got confidence, I got this, I got that, what's up? But internally, if someone wants to catch you, if someone wants to really know that this guy is insecure and builds upon that game, you will lose in no time. And suddenly, like a debilitated sun people, if you really come after them and their ego, they get defensive. They're like, don't try to shatter this illusion of ego. Okay, I'm gonna come after you. Where a confident person, you come after them, they're like, hey, let's chat, let's talk about it. What's going on? You want a piece of me? Let's go. That's what happened. But here's one other thing that I want to talk about in Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga is certain placements that really do give a Raj Yoga and how it's confirmed. Now, some of the most powerful Neecha Bhanga that occurs is when a debilitated planet is in upachaya houses, meaning that house 3, house 6, house 10, and house 11. When you have debilitated planets in these houses, and then through the help of other planet in the sign where they're excel or debilitated is in Kendra house, meaning house 1, 4, 7, and 10 in your birth chart, that creates 100% powerful Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga. And this is why when people have Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga and they email me, hey, I don't have Neecha Bhanga, I have Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga, yet I'm not prospering, what's happening? Well, first of all, before we even talk about powerful or weak Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga, you want to see what dasha are you running into. Because if you do not run into the Mahadasha of the Neecha Bhanga planet or the time period of Antradasha in Neecha Bhanga planet, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And if you're new to this and you don't know what dashas are pretty much the planetary time period that every human is going through right now. Not the early transits, but you're running through a single planetary time period, whether it's for 10 years or 20 years or 19 years. You are experiencing things mainly regarding that planet and the houses. So if you're running through a dasha lord of the 6th house, then you could be sunk in debt in that dasha period. Even though you're going to your job, you're getting married, you're doing every other thing out there, but what's happening in the majority of the time period, you're accumulating debt because of those things. So these are dashas. Okay, so you have to make sure that you run through the Mahadasha and Antradasha of the planet that is giving you a Neecha Bhanga. Then secondly, you want to see where is the Neecha Bhanga occurring. And like I said, if it's occurring in upachaya houses, or if it's occurring, even let's say in the 8th house or a Kama house, then the effects is really strengthened. Because remember, like malefic planets do very well in upachaya houses. And when a planet is debilitated, it's close enough to being a malefic planet. A debilitated moon is like a malefic moon because it's going to give you negative results. So when a negative debilitated moon is in a upachaya house and receives a Neecha Bhanga, that means it cancels that debilitation, takes you to the heights in professional sphere. However, debilitated moon will still do his part. Okay, he will still give you malnourishment from your mother, or he will give you these psychotensions in your mind, depression in your mind. You will be, whenever you take on a subject, whenever you involve yourself in something, you go so deep that it hurts your head. So that's still there. So even in your professional sphere, if a debilitated moon takes you to becoming a CEO of a company, you're still going to be suffering from that alignment, meaning that the stress and the burden of you, it'll get to your moon. However, with Neecha Bhanga, they're able to sustain that. They're able to work through it. And that's the most simplest definition of Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga, is that if a sun is debilitated and you have a low self-esteem, low ego, low confidence, you're still able to fight through it and move on. Where somebody who doesn't have a Neecha Bhanga, they suffer through it all their life. They are not able to progress because of the lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of ego, where sometimes you need ego to progress. And that's what it really is. So a Neecha Bhanga occurs when the Lord in which the debilitated planet is exalted in, or debilitated planet is debilitated in, if that Lord of that planet is sitting in Kendra from the ascendant or the moon, creates a Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga. Or when a debilitated planet is excelled in Nimansha chart, the D9 chart, divisional chart, it creates a Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga. However, that Neecha Bhanga is kind of like a 3rd degree Neecha Bhanga. It's not, it's there. It's like 35% active. It's not 100% that occurs in the main birth chart. So a Neecha Bhanga should occur in the main birth chart, and most of the time it needs to be in a upachaya house in order for it to make you feel like, yes, my Neecha Bhanga actually made it happen for me. Then you also have to look at the condition of that planet as far as your career is concerned. Look at the debilitated or the Neecha Bhanga planet in the D10 chart. If that same planet is Neecha in D10 chart without a Neecha Bhanga in the D10 chart, it's not going to give you the career advancement you need. So the birth chart has to always confirm. The birth chart is always looked, and the divisional chart just confirms will it happen or not. So if the D10 chart makes your debilitated or Neecha Bhanga planet exalted, hey, you're gonna be getting your promotion that you so need in that Dasha period. You will become a success that you need. Okay, so these are the points you want to make sure when you study a Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga. All right. So guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because that's what you're gonna learn here about your debilitation. Well, more stuff too. And if you want to know where your Neecha Bhanga is occurring, or if you have a Neecha Bhanga, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you a link to look at your own chart. Otherwise, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.